Air. Ever since the first trailer for this film dropped, I kept wondering, is this a real movie? Because it kind of almost looks like a parody of a movie trailer, something that could be released on Saturday Night Live. Well, it turns out it is a real film, and now it is out in theaters. It was going to come out on Amazon Prime only, but apparently it tested so well with the audiences that Warner Brothers put it out theatrically. It's directed by Ben Affleck, stars Matt Damon, Ben Affleck himself, Jason Bateman, Chris Messina, Viola Davis, and Chris Tucker, and is based on the true story of how Nike got Michael Jordan to sign with them in 1984 and create the Air Jordan shoe line, which is going strong until this day. Back when Nike's basketball division was doing exceedingly poor, and Converse along with Adidas were the large players on the market, and Nike was a small guy. So it's the kind of corporate underdog story, follows the exact same formula as Ford versus Ferrari or very recently Tetris. And if you know the basic premise of this movie, you know exactly how it ends and you pretty much know how it gets there. So it's predictable and it is kind of formulaic, and at points it's honestly pretty ridiculous. There's a sequence in the film when they're designing the actual shoe, and it's the dialogue is almost like it's some sort of a religious experience, and sometimes the dialogue is too on the nose and there are other tiny faults here and there. But weirdly enough, the movie manages to work surprisingly well. I think, sort of despite itself. And I think it has to do with the sheer amount of talent involved. The people that are in this film or around this film, behind the camera or in front of it, elevate the material. Affleck's direction makes the movie fly by and made me entirely engaged with the story, even though, as I said, it's completely predictable. It's also a very interesting choice, I thought, from the director's point of view, to not make Michael Jordan himself a character in the film. I mean, he does appear, but whenever he does, he's exclusively shot from behind. We never see the front of his face, and he only speaks like 3 words in the entire film. Otherwise, the deals are made with his parents and the agent, and I think that's quite brilliant, honestly, because it creates a sort of air of mystique around Michael Jordan, but also helps focus on what the story is meant to be about, without Jordan distracting from the corporate business dealings. Matt Damon is exceedingly charismatic in the lead role, as he typically can be. You cannot help but root for him. He's got amazing chemistry with Affleck and Bateman, who both give strong supporting performances. Viola Davis is amazing. Chris Messina is laugh out loud funny, especially in his phone call scene with Matt Damon. And generally speaking, the film itself is quite funny without the humor feeling sort of forced. What I mean is there aren't any modern day Marvel style quips. The humor feels very organic and natural, and it sort of fits the setting and the characters. Also, there's quite a lot of attention to detail in recreating the time period. I mean, from the opening montage of the film, we are transported into the 1980s with the clothes, the hairstyles, shoes, cars, and furniture from that period. I loved the set that they used for the Nike offices. It felt real and lived in. And I've also read that Affleck actually did quite a bit of research in terms of playing his role, which is the CEO of Nike at the time. Apparently, he nails a lot of the details about the real guy and how he was and what he was about. So credit to him there. He was also apparently consulting on the film with Michael Jordan himself, and one of his requests was that Viola Davis play his mother. So I do believe there's a fair amount of accuracy in terms of historical accuracy. The music is cool. The film looks good. Again, thanks to the people involved in it. I think it just transcends the material, and it manages to be very, very entertaining. I still maintain it's not a fantastic movie. It has its faults, and it's by no means a work of art in any respect. But it is impressive in how watchable it is, how pleasant it is to just go and see it and enjoy it. And also, let's be fair, it does have a certain target audience, which is mainly middle-aged men who like stories about sports and business, and this has bits of both. And I think those middle-aged men will absolutely love Air. It's a movie tailor-made for them, and I personally got more than I expected and thought it was quite a fun film.